welcome back to the channel. It's Joy, and if you saw the title of the video, we're gonna keep diving into this because so you guys know when it comes to this side of the internet, I left for a good 3-ish years, and even though I wasn't fully gone from YouTube, because back in May I started the Stimulus channel, did super well with that, and really enjoyed that for the time, and I still do it too, so make sure and go to Katie's Insight, and you can get stimulus news, find stimulus money in your area, trying to help people where I can right now. I really, left a lot of these topics. It was funny, people would be like, what have you been watching on YouTube? I'm like, nothing, stimulus. Like, it was just studying nonstop, all these characters in the Senate and the House and all these people around Trump, and it's a lot. It's just tons and tons of information overload every day. I had a great time with it, but I really wasn't up to date with everything, and I'll tell you, I have been going down the Eugenia Cooney rabbit hole. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of thinking I might do a series on this because there's a lot of info. And like I said, I feel like if you didn't see the other video, first of all, I already did a Eugenia Cooney video. A Eugenia Cooney video. What is that? A Eugenia Cooney video. So make sure and go check that out, the first one. This one might not make as much sense. So go check that one out where I go into some information about her health. You're not going to hear anywhere else. And it's actually information in general about EDs and some things you're not going to be aware of, things to take into consideration with her. First of all, let me start this video and say, like most other people, I think we all kind of have the same mentality. We all really like her. She's super sweet. And personally, she has been so kind to me when so many people were mean. I really, really like her. That being said, what's going on with her raises a lot of interesting questions. I want you to know, guys, this video is going to be raising questions. I don't have an answer necessarily, simply because I don't know. I don't yet know, and I will say, the more I'm diving into it, the more I don't like what I see. But I also don't like a lot of the hypocrisy that I see going on both sides of the Eugenia Cooney debate. So what am I talking about? So, as most of us know, Eugenia Cooney is a very popular YouTuber and live streamer. And as you guys know, she is very, very thin. In fact, something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Now, for a long time, I defended her, and I said, when I was on YouTube before, defended her only in the sense of I said, we don't know what's wrong with her. It could be a health issue. And I know, as somebody being on the internet and opening up about my health, how horrible people can be about it, especially if you don't know what's going on. And maybe this is a private thing, and she's scared to open up, and she doesn't want to get all the crap and the speculation, the stuff that I got, and I totally get that. And I was kind of saying, I think this is it's her right to make this a private matter. But here's the problem. The problem is that she was forced into treatment by some friends, Jaclyn, Glenn, her boyfriend, and there's another girl, cute girl, I can't remember her name, super pretty. But they basically put her in a situation where she had to go on a 5150 and she was forced to get help. So a lot of things have ensued as a result of that. One thing is Shane Dawson did a documentary, and the documentary was kind of more like sunshine and rainbow situation. It's kind of what it sounded like. And she came back I remember a lot of people were happy. Eugenia's back. She looks healthier. She's getting better. And I was like, y'all don't hold your breath, because if you don't know anything about eating issues, this is a battle. And it's a battle on many fronts, and it's a battle on fronts that mainstream science and the media and psychology still doesn't understand the kind of info I'm going to give you guys. And that's what I like to do. I like to give alternative info, or info that's not widely known that could really be helpful, give more depth, more understanding. Because when we do that, we can have more wisdom, make better choices, make ourselves better, make the planet better, in my opinion. Not that I'm out here saving anybody. I'm just feeling like to try to speak whatever truth that I can to be helpful. I'm doing my teeny tiny little grain in the sand part. And just knowing that, just a teeny tiny help that I can be makes me happy, right? So let's talk about this. So here's the thing. Eugenia has now admitted that she has an issue. She's now admitted it. She did that video with Shane. Now, not only that, she was getting better, but then, not too long after that, she got very thin, very quickly, again. And a lot of what she has been saying is not adding up. She's being caught lying, and she's being caught contradicting herself. And a lot of people are even saying things like she's using what they call fake positivity, false positivity. I know all about that. Being a former New Ager, everything's love and light. And don't get angry. Anger is a negative vibration, you know? It's fear-based, and fear is the worst thing. There's nothing to fear. It's just, and some of the concepts, it's like, there can be some truth to some of these concepts, but they take it too far, and it also has some BS surrounding it, right? Just like a lot of things. Anything you take out of balance or out of context just can end up going in a negative way. Like people who are too scared of things can't get anything done, right? People who don't have, who have no fear might not have healthy boundaries or be able to see the possible things that aren't safe that could put them in a bad situation. So that's kind of how I see that. And here's the problem. The problem now, when I used to defend her and say, we just don't know what's going on with her health, let's not judge, she hadn't opened up about it. And it was always, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. And it looked like something is obviously wrong, but what is it? And I kept saying, you can't look at somebody and know what's wrong. I can't tell you how many fights I had in the comment section, arguments with people who would say, oh, clearly she's got an ED. I'm like, you don't know that. Because what people saw when they looked at me, I had an ED when I was 270 pounds. Nobody believed me. Many of the women that you are going to meet, in fact, the majority of the women you're going to meet, if they don't have an ED, they have had it in our generation. And it's funny because it also went on in the boomers generation and the greatest generationers. But it was so widespread then, that was just a way of life. Most of our grandparents, especially our grandmothers, have these traits. So many people in the comments, so many people speaking up saying, yup, same thing. And the problem is, this is such, between then and now, still a really widely misunderstood situation with women, their health, their bodies, and their ability to maintain their weight in a way that's healthy and that they want to. What you're not going to hear other places that I want to continue to detail is many women get EDs. Not necessarily because there's something mentally wrong. The mental part to it, the mental illness that comes with it, is a symptom of the cause, and the cause is something's wrong with my body. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm cutting out sugar. I'm cutting out, bad carbs or most carbs. I'm doing portion control. I'm doing all of these things that I'm supposed to do. I'm cutting out fats in the right way. And yet, for some reason, I'm gaining weight. I can't lose weight. Nothing I do is working. And then you see yourself, and maybe you're overweight, or you're not the way that you would necessarily like to look, and then that creates a lot of mental issues. I think sometimes we don't, and this is true with our medicine and our society, we don't get to the core of the issues. We like to put Band-Aids over the symptoms and medicate the symptoms. For instance, when one of my first big diagnoses for what I have was fibromyalgia. Well, fibromyalgia is just a blanket term for generalized pain, and that you have a pain condition. But what causes that? Where does it come from? It's different for everybody. And that's why they don't really know what that is or really how to fix it. It's still a very ununderstood field. So for instance, so many women go in, and not just women, but men too, but especially women, and having some issues with my heart. It's anxiety. 36 years of a misdiagnosis of anxiety nonstop, when it turns out I have a major heart condition. I have a nervous system condition. And more people and women are uncovering that this is something for them because they're under so much stress. Their nervous systems get weak. Their nervous systems can get sick. I'm not saying it's that way for everybody, but I'm saying there are all kinds of issues when it comes to eating issues, when it comes to EDs. And these are some things I consistently in these videos want to highlight because I want to bring awareness to it. And I have a few questions that I want to raise and bring up in this video. So one thing is I've been diving into the Eugenia Cooney rabbit hole. And with all of this, and I've seen some concerning stuff, like I think I'd like to do a video on Katie Morton coming up. Oh, there's a lot of weirdness. Shout out to Isaac. Isaac that was in the comments talking about it. I'm like, I'm actually watching that right now. I've been looking at some things. And again, I've been out of the loop for a while. So I think I have some interesting perspectives also as being a woman who's been through this. It almost frustrates me to say I'm a woman who's been through this, because if you're a woman, most likely on some level, you've been through this. Unless you are just, naturally thin. But then a lot of times, those rare women who are naturally thin, naturally high metabolism, they have issues with gaining weight and feel awful. Like Jaclyn Glenn, who's opened up about that. And I also just want to make sure everybody knows, these videos are not to attack or go after or be mean to anybody. All of the people I'm going to talk about, I really like. And on some level, I think are well-ish intended, maybe aside from one or two, like specifically one. I'm looking at Katie Morton. We'll get into that, but I'm not trying to throw any negativity or meanness at people. That is not what I'm here to do. I know what it's like to be the target of that. I really like all the people I'm going to be talking about. Katie Morton, I'm looking at a little strange because I feel like she might have taken promotion over actual getting Eugenia professional help. We'll get into that in another video. But this video has to do with a video I saw from a girl called Pastel Belle. First of all, super cute. Like, I really like her personality. She's really calm, but she's really passionate. I really liked her video. And I saw, you know, she's done some other videos too. I kind of just glanced over some of the titles, and there's some interesting stuff. Not everything I agree with, right? But you don't agree with everything from anybody anyway. But I saw some stuff and I'm like, she seems interesting. And she did a whole video on this that was fantastic. And then somebody said, look at her Twitter, because she is looking at trying to remove Eugenia off of YouTube. And I've been hearing rumblings of this. And I wanted to bring this up because I think this poses some really important, critical questions about the way we do social media, and should we let the mob dictate things? By the way, I'm not, and again, I haven't formed my opinion yet on it, but I'm seeing red flags on both sides of this debate. And these are things I want to bring up because I think they're important to talk about. So let me go ahead and pull up her Twitter and let you know what was being said. So this is what it says. It says, Eugenia Cooney just uploaded another video with even more body checking and pro-Anna content than her last video. Like, she doesn't even have links to her products. It's all about shamelessly showing her body for clicks. Let's get a massive petition going to bring to YouTube. Eugenia Cooney has shown over and over again that she's 100% apathetic about triggering young girls into EDs, and something needs to be done. Many have tried to help her, but we will not tolerate her continuing to harm other young girls. We're taking action. News coming this week. To @YouTube and @Susan Wojcicki. Why is nothing being done about Eugenia Cooney's channel? She's slowly hurting herself as a public spectacle on your platform, and also influencing other young girls to do the same. A YouTube creator viewer petition is coming, and we'd like accountability. It says this week, you'll hear firsthand from women who were affected by Eugenia's pro-Anna content and the damage it caused to their health and lives. Also, huge petition coming, and other creators will be addressing the issue on their channels. Eugenia, this is not going away. And then she retweets Team YouTube saying you can flag content you don't like, and it says, thanks for responding at Team YouTube. Hundreds of viewers have reported Eugenia Cooney's channel in the last 2 weeks alone. She violates your TOS, including self-harm and harmful acts that minors could and do imitate. She's causing real harm, and the YouTube community is asking for your help. So let's talk about this. I think I'm going to do another video, a separate video about the body checking, because I'll tell you, I did kind of look into it. The thing is, she models off a lot of clothing, so I think it can be a little bit hard to know whether she's just trying to show something off or checking. Here is the problem that I'm seeing. How far do we take this? People said, I need to be removed off YouTube because I'm lying about being sick. I need to be removed off YouTube because I'm, eating myself into a stupor. And for so many other things that weren't real. Do we let the mob dictate what happens? And how far do we go with this? The majority of the female creators you're going to watch, if they don't have one, they have probably suffered on some level with an ED. To the ones that are suffering but we can't see it, do we remove them? Or is that okay because their audience can't see it, therefore they're not trying to emulate it? And I want you guys to know, I agree with everybody when they say this is a problem because young people will see this and want to do what she's doing. I agree. But we only care when we get the visual cues to care. And my problem with all of this is that so many people are suffering with this and nobody cares because we don't know how big and widespread this issue is, and we are convinced to believe it's not really that bad of an issue unless you look emaciated. That girl who looks perfect and cute could have an eating issue. You just don't see it because for some reason her body isn't processing weight in the same way, so she can't drop really small. She might not have eaten for a couple days. You just don't know because it doesn't look that way. When I was as big as I was, you might not be able to tell. I might go a day or two without eating simply because I was so sick and felt so awful and hated what was going on. Gained weight. Gained weight from the water I intook. And all I got was a lot of ridicule and people being horrible to me. absolute, just as mean as they could be about the situation. Should I have been removed because the mob said so? Because they had an assumption about my health? Here's the argument, though, and here's part of the problem with Eugenia. And again, I'm not trying to, what's hard is I don't want y'all to think that I'm arguing one way or another. I'm bringing up questions. I know sometimes I can look fired up and it looks like I'm arguing for this point. I'm just bringing up different points of view that I see. Here's another problem when it comes to Eugenia. We don't know her health history. We're not her doctors. But we know enough from Jaclyn Glenn opening up, from her doing the documentary with Shane Dawson, and we know about past behaviors of hers saying nothing's wrong and current behaviors, nothing's wrong, that's enough of a red flag to be like, something's up. At that point, I don't think we need to know about her health. If she is putting herself in a position to look that thin and she is not getting help, let's say it's not an eating issue. Let's say that she is physically ill, something's physically wrong, more than it's just all in her head and she's, restricting. Because that happens to a lot of people, right? Let's say that's the case. Then she needs to come clean and open up and talk about it. And then she's been lying to people for months and years about, I'm fine, I'm healthy, nothing's wrong with me. I think if you're gonna have that dramatic of a look on YouTube, you have to have some form of open and transparency about what you're going through. But then let's be honest. A lot of the viewers that watch, I'm not necessarily saying you guys, but a lot of them are so mean and they will be invasive and scary to your life. I know, I've been through it. And as a result of all of that, she might not feel safe to open up and talk about it. She might not feel safe. Can you blame her? So where are we, the judge, jury, and executioner, as the mob on this because, well, it looks a certain way? We don't know what's going on in her body. We don't know what's going on with her health. But there are warning signs. So that's what I want to know. And then I want to bring up a couple other things. Let's talk about Trisha Paytas for a second. Trisha Paytas. I respect her in many ways and I like her in many ways. So don't think this is a diss. But when she's doing videos, and I don't think she'd take this offensively. So I have a monitor right here, just so you guys know. I'm going to use my monitor just to kind of imitate. She'll be talking to the camera, and then, right on the side is like a monitor or like a flip out. So she'll talk, and then she'll look. Like I'm looking at my monitor right now as she's talking to you guys, and she's just making sure she looks okay and doing all this, and then looking back, and she does that repeatedly. Well, in some way, on some level, isn't that a form of the body checking? And I get people are saying it's more on the pro-Anna side, which is, pro eating disorder or eating issues. I understand what people are saying there, but I was looking up the definition. It's also about just obsessively looking at your appearance. Several YouTubers do that. Trisha's one of them, and it drives me nuts because I'm like, girl, you're beautiful. Just focus on trying to connect with people, and focus on what you're doing. But, she can do whatever she wants. She's her own person. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to say that in like any mean way. I'm just telling you sometimes it's just a personal little irritant of mine. I'm sure my incessant rambling, many things I do irritate some people, and that's fine. But yeah, so that's one thing when it comes to Trisha. And then I feel like I'm going to open up a can of worms with this, but I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to do it with all due respect. Should Jaclyn Glenn then be kicked off? Well, you might say she doesn't have an ED. No, she's not influencing her audience. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. First of all, I love Jaclyn. Jaclyn's one of the few people who's been kind and respectful. I will always have kindness and respect to her. I'm not saying I want her to leave. I think she's a very important voice on YouTube. I like her. I'm only pointing out hypocrisy. So and as far as I'm aware, I don't think from everything I've seen, Jaclyn is wanting to get her off of there, right? So this is not an attack. This is not me trying to be mean to Jaclyn. Jaclyn got a breast augmentation and she got breast implants. The statistic is 1 in 4 people with breast implants will get autoimmune illness. And she detailed the journey and she showed it off and how she likes the results. That's influencing her audience. And if 20 people, right? 20 people went and did that because of her. 5 of them turn out to be sick for the rest of their lives. And these surgeries are not cheap. So it's not something easy to reverse, or if they leak. All kinds of things. Your body can reject foreign objects. She's an influencer. She's influencing her audience. And now, every time she's on, she's in that body where the girls are there. Is that influencing people to do what she did since she talked about it? Because I watched the videos of her on her vlogs and stuff. I did as much research as I could looking at the videos, And I will be very honest with you guys, when I looked at everything, not once did she say, here's the positives, here are the possible downsides, here are the side effects. Never came up. On top of that, doing any type of surgery is risky. When you have anesthetic, you always have to sign a waiver in case something happens. I know because I'm one of those people, I can't go under the knife. It has to be a life or a life or not life situation for me, because if I do, people with my condition, we have really bad reactions to anesthetic. That's what I've learned because I've had them before. We go into POTS dysautonomia flare-ups. It's very scary. So I know, and this I know what I'm talking about. So like, because I've had people ask with the weight loss, do I have loose skin? Not much. And I'm trying to find natural ways to be able to get rid of it, if there is any, which I will let you guys know, and I will kind of detail for you guys as time goes on if you'd like. So I can't ever do anything for my vanity or because I'm insecure. Well, she was saying, well, this is something I really want to do, and it's something I've always been insecure about. Well, isn't that telling your audience, well, go ahead and go get unsafe surgeries that could, there's a 25% chance you'll be sick for the rest of your life, and there's nothing you can do about it that'll be debilitating. And by the time you figure it out, you're too sick to work, and you can't go get those out. I like Jaclyn. I don't want her to go anywhere. Please understand what I'm saying. I really do. This is not an attack. I'm bringing up different points of view on this. Do we ban me? Because I've been talking about how I got better? Because I'll tell you right now, my doctor, one of the leading cardiologists, said I have to follow his routine by the book. I will never be fully functioning. Probably not even half functioning. They'll get me as close as they can. But some of the things they wanted me to do, I said, this is not good for me. They wanted me to get on birth controls to stop my periods. I said, nope, because I know those birth controls make me very sick, not going to do it. And we disagreed there. But the practitioner I was with said also, I think you're estrogen dominant because of where you gain weight, you've had issues with tumors. And I built with my practitioner my own plan, also with some of the advice from my doctor. And guess what? It's worked fantastically. So what I'm saying went against some of the medical advice. If I tell you guys about estrogen dominance and some of these things and try to give you information if you're having health issues to go talk to your doctor about that certain doctors disagree with, should I not be here? For some people, the keto diet doesn't work. The ketogenic diet. I'm on a very extreme form, all carnivore. Now, I routinely, almost every video I talk about this, I say, don't do what I did for weight loss. This was not weight loss, this was a health issue. The weight loss was a symptom, it wasn't the issue. It was a side effect, and wonderfully, we took care of that symptom, or we're in the process. I still got about 30 or 40 more pounds to lose, but we're in the process of that. Or how about, at some point, guys, I'm gonna get much smaller over the next 6 to 8 months. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It'll depend on histamines and hormones and all these other things I'm still working to get in balance. I'm gonna get very, very small. That's how I was before. You guys don't know me at this size. Let's say if, I had the great fortune, if, it is fortunate or not, that I got popular again and people see this. Are they going to start doing videos about me and my body? And then at that point, do I need to leave? Now, granted, I'm not going to look anything like Eugenia. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not promoting that at all, obviously. Something's wrong there. And we don't want kids thinking that this is something you should do in a way you should look to get attention. I agree with everybody who's saying that. My question is, I'm concerned by you saying in some way it's her existence online and then just not wanting to talk about the situation. And now it goes further than that. She says it's not an issue. How far do we take that into other areas? And I feel like when it comes to cancel culture, I have a video on this, go check it out. I have a decent video, I think, on cancel culture and why it's gonna make society worse and why it's gonna backfire. We have gone so far with cancel culture. I know I'm somebody who was canceled. It was trendy and it was fun to be mean to me. When does it go too far? When does it go too far and get too invasive? And again, this is not me saying I don't understand the argument. This is me giving the counter argument as to where the concerns are that I'm seeing. And that's all I want to do is just bring those up and ask you guys in the comments, what do you think? Do we think we should just remove her? Do you see some of my points of view? Do you think I'm right? Do you think if we do that, is it opening a Pandora's box to let the mob decide the fates of many people when they don't understand what's going on? That's my issue. My issue isn't even necessarily about Eugenia. Yeah, let's do something. Something's up there. I like Eugenia. I'm a Eugenia fan. But something's going on, and it's detrimental to her audience. I agree, but how far is this going to go? That's my worry. And if that's the case, why is nobody speaking up about Jaclyn Glenn's breast augmentation? By the way, More power to her. She can do whatever she wants with her body. I'm not saying that she can't. But it is scientific fact at this point, and there's more and more information that breast augmentation is not safe. What she has done with breast implants is not safe. And that's science. That's science talking. So how far do we take it? And I don't want to take it there with her. I don't. I think she's extremely well-intended. I would assume, I don't know this, but I would assume, because there's several things we probably don't know about Jaclyn. I would assume she's never had extreme chronic health issues to ever have to be aware of this. But why aren't we talking about it? Why? Because society isn't as well versed. We're not told to care about people who are sick with breast augmentation. But if it's as high as 25% of everybody who gets breast implants to become sick with a chronic autoimmune illness, where's the line? That's what I want to ask. And I want to see what you guys think. And let me know if you like these videos, because I think I could give some decent insight as somebody who's been through this. Somebody who's been through this on the mental, emotional, and the physical level. And I think I could give some insight into what I'm seeing, as well as I'm also somebody who needed help for it when I was younger, and I was told I'm not going to get it. Not going to get it. Nobody cared. Nobody cared to help me. Just told to shut up. Shut up and eat a sandwich. I really want to know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like some of the commentary and some of the questions I'm raising, subscribe if you like this and you haven't, and hit notifications so you can see when I upload. Like I said, sound off in the comments. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say, and and share it with people you think would be interested. I gotta tell you, I'm really hesitant because I'm praying my intentions coming off. I like Eugenia. I like Jaclyn. I like Trisha. I think they all deserve their spot on the platform. I know Eugenia has issues. I think more than anything, most of us want to see her get help, right? If removing her is the way that has to be done, so be it. For me, with my physical issues, all the things going on with me, I had to remove myself. This is a different situation, and I was so much better when I came back. And I even said with Trisha, I'm like, with all of her mental health issues, I think for her to really get healthy in herself, she has to remove herself for a while. Doesn't mean, now I'm not saying they have to delete everything like I did, but remove themselves and focus on their health. And that's what I would like, I wish we could see that, but I'll tell you, some people are so wrapped up in the money and the attention that comes with this platform, right? They're so wrapped up in it and they're also very insecure. If I left, can I come back? I deleted 65,000 subs, millions of views. I walked away because I had the confidence in myself to say, if I'm supposed to come back, I'll do it again, I'll do it better. And luckily I was able to show myself I did it, double speed of what I did before on the channel that I was on, and I did it in a completely different realm, which is financial and stimulus news. And it gave me the confidence to say, I think I can come back here and I can do what I want, cover the stories I want, say what I want, really speak from my heart. And I think now I can do it from a balanced place because I'm healthy mind, body, spirit. Especially body. Body fixed almost everything else and uncovering a lot of other things. When you get sick, it brings up all these other issues that you have to uncover mentally and emotionally. And yeah, so let me know if you would like me to continue to cover this. And I love all three of these people. I really hope, I'm praying that my intention comes out well with this video. I'm just bringing up concerns. Where do the lines end? Because I feel like we have seen with cancel culture, there aren't any, and that's what's concerning. So, okay guys, lots of love. I respect all of you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And until the next video, I'm just gonna wish everybody lots of love. Take care. I'm sending you guys blessings. I hope everything's going well for everybody. And hugs, mwah, and kisses. Till the next video, take care. Okay, bye guys.